Well, my career started in 1974, so it was just something I loved to do. I loved teaching, so I would get up every day and spend the day teaching and then look forward to coaching as well. My wife was such a great support in that, and she was right there with me all the time. She would be the announcer and she became a judge, and so it became kind of a family thing. And we started a school, gymnastics school, fairly early, 1975. And so I knew those kids from when they were like 5 years old and coached them all the way through. So it wasn't something I could walk away from easily because they became a part of my family. Yes, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to win because I wanted kids to experience success. But from the beginning, I really believed that the more important thing was seeing kids be successful in their lives. And so I had a lot to learn when I started. And I looked around at other coaches and tried to pick up things from them and learn from them. And I learned through the years, but something that always was the same for me was that I wanted each kid that I taught, each kid that I coached, to really believe that I loved them, that I was for them, and I wanted them to do the best they could, and that would be success for them. If they could only score an 8, that was success for them, if that was the best they could do. And I convinced them of that all the time, and I wanted them to know that they were important to me. They were important to my life. So I think that was the overriding thing. But then specifically to gymnastics, I knew at the beginning that we could not compete at the level with regard to the skill level, the difficulty of the skills. We just didn't have it yet at the beginning. So I focused a lot on execution, on form, and doing the very best, looking the very best we could, no matter what level of skills we were doing. And that stayed with me throughout my career. That was always a focus. We always focused, even as the skill level rose to very difficult skills, we constantly focused on execution and form. And I think that proved to be successful. The best part of coaching is the relationships that you have with kids, and they grow into adults, and you watch them thrive, and those affected me powerfully in the sense that I take no credit for that, but I could say to myself, hey, I got to be a part of it. I got to be a part of their success. And we had dinner last night with a doctor, and she was one of my early gymnasts. And there's so much of that. And because I later became a pastor, I baptized and buried, unfortunately, sadly, some of my own gymnasts and married them. And those are life-changing events for me because they impact my heart. And I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. It's the very best part of my life. There's so many memories that I have, it's hard to pick one that stands out. One that stands out as far as the competition part of it was just winning the first state championship, because it was 1990, and I started in 75 coaching the boys, and then 76 coaching the girls. And so it took, we would qualify for state, but it took a while to get to the level, and we'd be there for a few years and get, 6th or 5th and 3rd, but that year was a really great year. It was so exciting for us. And then the last year of my coaching was my last championship, and that stands out as well, because I knew that was it, and to be able to finish on top was really special. But those are the competition arena, and those are really important. But to be really honest, the things that stand out to me are when I had a kid knock on my door at 12:30 in the morning, and his folks had kicked him out, and he just hugged me and cried, and I just got to be a part of mending a family, and that was, there are lots of those memories that just really penetrate my heart. If I could choose to be remembered in a certain way by my school or the kids I've coached or kids I've taught, I would want to be remembered as somebody who really cared for them. First of all, that I was for them, that I wanted them to be the very best, and also that I gave my best. But the other thing, I want to be remembered, apart from wins and losses and that kind of thing, as a person of character, person who they could depend on, who did a job and put the very best effort I could in whether it's teaching or coaching or whatever I chose to do, so that I could be an example. That's really, I guess, if I would want to be known as an example to them in some way. But to be recognized by CHSAA in this Hall of Fame is, honestly, I think it's kind of the pinnacle for me. I've had just the privilege and the blessing and the honor to be recognized in other areas and to have other awards. And I was nominated for this many years ago, and I kind of just set it aside. It was always there, thinking, oh, that would be nice. I kind of set it aside thinking, well, my time has passed. And so when I got the call from you, I was like shocked first, delighted second, honored, and truly humbled. It's truly an honor, and I can't express that enough.